Hey Rule Breaker, it's Courtney from RuleBreakersClub.com with some copywriting, business, and life advice for rebels with a cause. Have you been thinking about creating a video to put on your blog or online or on YouTube or whatever forever, but just have not gotten around to doing it? Well, I talk to a lot of people who tell me the same thing, that they see videos, they know that they need to start doing video, but they just can't figure out how to do it. It just seems like a huge thing to bite off. And it's also kind of scary, right, to put yourself out there on video. So I wanted to take you behind the scenes today to show you exactly my process from start to finish on how I create these exact videos right now that you're watching for the Rule Breakers Club. Because I have not always been doing video like this, and I've really had to figure it out as I go. And I have some great tips for you to help you to get started to make your first or maybe your next much better video for your business. Okay, so first of all, back in the day, my videos did not look like this. I have a great HD camera now, a Nikon D3300. I absolutely love it, but I started out by making videos just with my MacBook Pro, which is sitting right here in front of me. So I do recommend that you don't have to go out and buy fancy tools or anything like that. You just get started with what you have right now today already. You have some way of creating video, whether it's on your iPhone or your MacBook or whatever. You don't have to have a bunch of Apple products either to get it done. So here's how I do my video process. Number one is that I do spend time planning out the content in advance. So I made a video on this a little bit ago. I highly recommend going and checking that out. I'll provide a link below for that. But I do plan it out in advance. So I have a whole content sort of grid, and then I fill out the topics for each of the weeks. And then I go in a document and I map out bullet points, 3 bullet points for each video of what I want to say, or maybe a little bit more, but just to get the gist of the content and what I have to say about that. So that's what I do before I come here today. Sometimes I do some more fleshing out. Like this morning I went into a coffee shop and I just spent an hour fleshing out some more content just so I was more prepared. And then when that's done, I just go and I start my filming. So the second thing I recommend, number 2, is to batch your video content. So you might want to just like off the cuff make a video, but I find that I like to make sure that my hair doesn't look totally crazy and that I have to put a little bit of makeup on. I mean, I guess I don't have to, but I like to do that. And that once I get on a roll creating videos, I don't want to make 1, I want to make 5 or 6, or maybe like today I'm trying to make 10 or 11 videos. So I recommend just going with the flow and getting it done, and that's why you want to have your content planned in advance. It'll be way more efficient that way. Number 3, sorry, and this goes right along that, is to have one setup. So you want to make the process as efficient as possible. What I do is I always film my videos here in this office. I live in 2 places. This office is in Michigan and my other one is in Montreal. But for consistency for you guys viewing, but also for myself to not be bogged down by like, okay, what's the backdrop going to be today? Where's the lighting? All that kind of stuff. I just use one office. I know exactly the lighting situation I need. I know exactly where my camera charger is right over there. And that means that it's way more efficient for me. No decisions to be made. I know exactly where to put my camera, all that kind of stuff. So one setup is great. Once you figure that out, it might take some time to figure it out. That's fine. Once you do, it'll make it way more efficient. Okay, step number 4 is to keep an outline with bullet points. So I don't script my videos anymore. I used to make it not fully scripted, but a little bit more scripted than they are now. But I find that, as you can see, I'm looking over a little bit every once in a while to my outline, which is in front of me on my computer, which helps me to keep on topic and not go off on tangents too much. So people have asked me that too. How do you talk without rambling on tangents? Well, I have an outline and I'll go through each video once without recording to see how I'm gonna talk about it. And then I just make sure to keep coming back to the outline and not going off too much on one topic. That does take some practice. You will get used to it. But if you can do your videos in one take, I do recommend that. It makes the editing way more efficient, whether you outsource that part or not. The next step, number 5, is that once the videos are done, I take them from my memory card, I plug them into my computer and actually transfer them to an external hard drive because I use iMovie for editing, and that external hard drive is considered a good hard drive for my iMovie, basically, in non-tech terms, that it recognizes that hard drive, and that way I don't have to keep the videos on my computer, which take up a lot of space. That's something I learned the hard way. I had to clean off my whole computer recently because it was totally full. So that's how I do that. And then number 6 is to actually go in and edit and then publish the video. So if you do the whole pre-setup process right, as I explained in this video, then that editing process is much easier. Video editing doesn't have to be that hard. iMovie is super easy if you have a Mac. Really easy to figure out. So I recommend doing that, and then you just upload your videos to YouTube and you put them on your blog, right? So that's my video creation process from start to finish. I have 3 tips for you if you are still like, oh my God, how do I get started? These are my 3 best tips for getting started right now. So number 1 is to just outline your content. That's the first thing you want to do. I've shown you guys in previous videos, but I outline my content in a grid like this, and I do have a video on that, so you can check out that video if you want help outlining and planning your blog content for the next several months. That way you can batch. My number 2 tip is to just get started. So if you've been thinking about it for a while and you haven't done it, that means you're procrastinating, and that means that you just need to do it. You just need to use the tools that you have, stop making excuses. I say that in the nicest way possible, but sometimes we need a little bit of a military strong arm there. And the final tip that I have for you, tip number 3, is to make a public declaration that you're going to create a video. So maybe you tell your blog readers, if our list gets to this number, the next video will be a video. Or maybe you just say the next video is going to be a video, and then they're going to expect it from you. So just go out there, create video content. Maybe it'll be crappy at first. That's totally fine, but it'll get better and better. It'll get better so fast because the learning curve is just shoots up, and then once you're there, your videos will be very high quality. Like I said, I am not a professional videographer. I'm a one-woman shop with my camera in front of me and all of that. And that's it. So I hope this video inspires you to create your own blog videos. And if you loved it, please do go ahead and share it on Facebook and Twitter. And I will see you next week.